Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3, and we are back once again with the Pro Wrestling Spotlight presents Tru Heel Heat 73. We are here to discuss a lot of news, WWE's attempt to erase the big dog, Roman Reigns. We're going to be talking about the Revolt, aka the Revival on Talk Is Jericho, and we're also going to be talking about week 30 of the Wednesday Night War, as well as preview WWE Money in the Bank this coming Sunday. I am back once again with my lovely co-host, the beautiful Miss Krssi Luv.
Hello, 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 everybody.
And of course, the resident Tru Heel alcoholic himself, Mr. Off the Rails, Top Guy JJ.
What up, guys? What up, yo? To all my people. Cinco de Mayo. I know we're a couple of days late. You know what I mean? You gotta get the tequilas in. You gotta.
Hey! Yes! Woo!
Cinco de Mayo, people.
That's when JJ would dip me, you know?
Little something for the heels. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We're going to have a lot of fun on this episode of Tru Heel Heat. So get your drinks ready, sit back and enjoy all the latest news in professional wrestling, and push that iCard down at the bottom and push the subscribe button to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat, all the great reviews, countdowns, and Tru Heel Heat podcasts right here on our YouTube channel. So before we get started on all the top news, we got to talk about the Tru Heel Roll Call. The Tru Heel Roll Call is where we talk to you and give shout outs to you, the viewers, the listeners of Tru Heel Heat. We appreciate each and every one of you. And this episode, especially, we're going to prove that as we start off with our top three, our conversation starters, as they are affectionately known as the Tru Heel Trinity. These are the top three conversation starters on our Tru Heels group page. Number three is our New Japan aficionado himself, James Wims. Coming in at number two is the host of the Romeo Report and the co-host of True Rewind, our new series to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, Romeo Anthony Colon. And coming in at number one is a very special guest host that we have for Tru Heel Heat 73. This is someone that has been contributing to the Tru Heels group page, that has been liking and sharing and supporting our Tru Heel Heat group page on Facebook, as well as watching our show right here on our YouTube channel, as well as live when we were on the Pro Wrestling Spotlight. So we welcome none other than the number one for 20 straight weeks on Tru Heel Heat, the number one conversation starter himself, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson.
Hello. Thank you guys again for having me on. Wow. This is a dream. Let's get it.
Welcome, sir. Like, we appreciate all your support. You are one of our loyal viewers and listeners to the Tru Heel Heat podcast and the YouTube channel. So we want to show our appreciation back to you by welcoming you on Tru Heel Heat 73. So welcome to the show, man.
Woo.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Not gonna lie, I had a little bit of butterflies actually being on this thing, but I mean, a little more comfortable, more acclimated, just ready to.
You gotta get a little bit more.
What's up? Okay.
his entrance music right there, right? So how has your life been in quarantine? Before we get started on everything, like, let's give like a up to date
Right.
how you're feeling right now, everything going on in the world. How's your life going?
I mean, it's a bit different, now. Like, the only thing I've really been leaving my house for is just work. I work in Target, do guest service, carts, everything around that store. So, it's the life of being an essential worker, going out, coming back, just trying not to do too much, still try to remain social distant and all that. But yeah, just when I'm not at work, checking out more wrestling, just more of the same. And got a few voice work projects that I'm working on right now, so I'm real excited about those.
I see that. You got the mic set up and everything. You look professional, sir. You look like you're a natural for this podcast thing.
And you know what, my friend? All they do is shout out all the doctors and nurses. Listen, you are one of the frontline essential workers too, and your birthday just recently passed. So I am gonna salute you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Of this Terry Tequila, my friend. Thank you. Happy birthday, my brother. I
Thank
know
you, my
so
brother.
much.
Appreciate it.
Finally
Cheers
met.
to you, sir.
I
Hell
don't
yeah,
have any alcohol, but do you have the
brother.
next best thing?
Gatorade is the next best thing, and if you would like to partake in our good friend, our co-host of Joints and Jabronis and
Lovely
Blunt
Mary
Impact,
Jane.
Mary Jane is here. Mary
She's
Jane
in the
is welcome.
building.
Hey, Mary. Nice to
Mary
see
is
you.
always welcome on Tru Heel Heat.
I saw you a few hours ago.
She was a long time co-host of the podcast. So welcome back to the show, Mary Jane.
Always good to see her.
I was looking for Chris.
He's always not too far behind, isn't he? So shouts out to
Thank
Chris
you.
as well. A couple of the Tru Heels we got to shout out: Troy Lee, Chris the Shark Paisler, Alberto Ortiz,
Chris the Shark.
Brian Michael Pratt, Brian Hughes. Our YouTube subscribers, we got to shout out Storm Shadow, who's been giving us a lot of great suggestions in the comment section. So if you're watching us for the very first time, or if you're a subscriber or a viewer for a long time and you've never commented in the comment section below, please comment down below. If you have any suggestions for videos for us to do, we're always open to suggestions. Storm Shadow says that we should do a top 10 heels in wrestling today countdown,
Ooh.
either on the YouTube channel
Okay.
or on our podcast. So we are going to listen to you, the viewers and our subscribers. So Storm Shadow, shouts out to you. Massively Infected. That's his name on YouTube. Shouts out to you. You've also commented in our comment section. So we love to shout all you out. So please comment down below if you never have before. And a huge shout out once again to Royce Isaacs of the Strictly Business, of the Wild Cards, and one of the stars of NWA Power for our very special exclusive interview with him for Tru Heel's BTR Between the Ropes. That's up on our paper page, our iTunes page. You can listen to it if you need to do it while you're working at home, or you can watch it right here on our YouTube channel. So anything you guys want to talk about before we get into what we missed?
No.
Not really. On the show.
Let's go.
Cinco de Mayo. That's what I want to get out.
Happy Cinco indeed. So what we missed was SmackDown. Of course, the Lynch's son's favorite, Otis, qualifies for the Money in the Bank men's ladder match, while Carmella qualifies for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Both Money in the Bank ladder matches will occur at the very same time. We talked about that unique corporate ladder Money in the Bank ladder match this Sunday, but the very interesting part is that it's both going to happen at the very same time at the headquarters. Forgotten Sons upset the New Day on Monday. Up on Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, has come back from the dead. He was buried
A month ago. A month ago exactly. Yep.
He said, buried. So what? So what?
It was beautiful.
He returns and he wins the last chance gauntlet to be the last entrant in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Viking Raiders defeat the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, while the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre defeats Murphy in the main event. And Dark Side of the Ring was a very, very, very good one. Probably my biggest surprise of the season, in my opinion. Herb Abrams and the UWF. If you guys want to hear a full review of that, that's up on our YouTube channel. Me and Krssi Luv break down every episode of season 2. Nick Jackson, what was your thoughts on Dark Side of the Ring this week with Herb Abrams?
Man, Herb Abrams, cocaine and cowboy boots, man. And that's one thing I will say I've been loving about Dark Side of the Ring season 1 and 2 is I'm learning certain things that I never knew about until last week, and I saw the trailer. I'd never heard of Herb Abrams, and I never heard of the UWF, but it was just like, it was crazy that this guy was just such a big fanatical fan and got something off the ground that was, gaining some traction, but obviously he didn't necessarily have, I guess, the foresight to keep it going, and just the stories and everything, and the story leading up to like his death, and Oh man,
The
just
supposed depths.
yeah, everything in Dark Side of the Ring is just a huge roller coaster, and that was probably one of the biggest surprises that I saw as far as all the episodes going that have aired so far. But
Definitely,
very solid, and excited for the next ones that are coming.
we are definitely excited as well. Road Warriors as well as Owen Hart is the last 2 episodes of season 2 of Dark Side of
That's
the
gonna.
Ring.
I can already tell that's gonna be a tough watch, at least for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, yep,
God.
same. And today's his birthday, so happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Owen, King of
Happy
Hearts.
Happy birthday to Owen Hart up in the sky. Happy birthday to Kevin Owens. And happy birthday
Ooh,
Yes.
oh
to
damn, I should have worn a shirt. Damn it.
birthday to the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. May
Ooh.
7th, when we're
Woo.
recording this, is a very popular day when it comes to birthdays, I will say.
Yes.
Wow.
And a happy belated to The Rock, who was on May 2nd.
Hell yeah.
What
Drinking
can I say?
you, my friend.
Great professional wrestlers are born in May. And great people that provide wrestling content are born in May as
Oh
well.
my God. Hear this fuck thing going. He's self-promoting himself. Look at this sorry sack of shit up on my upper screen. So wherever I'm pointing, I hope it's in the right direction.
Nah.
Worst part of make that happen right here.
Awesome. So we got to get into our top news. And the top news story is, speaking of The Rock, we got to talk about his cousin, the big dog, Roman Reigns, and WWE's attempt to erase Roman Reigns from history. Wrestling Observer Radio recently reported that Vince McMahon has told officials that he does not want Roman Reigns mentioned on WWE TV going forward. This week on
Wow.
Raw, this week
That's
on Raw, WWE aired a top 10 Money in the Bank moments compilation throughout the show. For number 1, it was, of course, they listened to us because we said it as well. It was also number 1 for us on our ranking of the Money in the Bank cash-ins. Seth Rollins cashing
As
in
it
Money in
should
the
have been.
Bank at WrestleMania 31
absolutely. Yep.
Vice
by
versa.
making it, and what happened in reality is by Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank, he made it a triple threat match between himself, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns, and he hit Roman Reigns with the curb stomp and pinned him to become the WWE champ. However,
That's not what happened.
the WWE showed footage which showed Seth Rollins running down to the ring with the briefcase and handing it to the referee. We then see Seth Rollins curb stomping Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35, not WrestleMania 31, WrestleMania 35 for the Universal Championship, by the way. And then we go back to WrestleMania 31 where Seth Rollins celebrates with the WWE Championship. In essence, WWE tried to revisionist history Roman Reigns out of that scenario. So, what do you guys think about WWE's attempt to erase Roman Reigns from one of the most famous moments of the past decade? We'll start off with our guest host, Negro Buck Nick Jackson. What was your thoughts?
I mean, well, I guess my immediate thought was just petty Vince. And then I thought about it more and what other people were saying, that they're like, oh, they probably just don't want to show Roman because he hasn't been on TV. They don't know when he's going to be back. But at the same time, a whole part of what made that moment so huge is the fact that, Roman was in the match, like the circumstances going into the match, that was Vince's whole plan. Have Roman be the star, face of the company. Didn't work. So panic button. Rollins goes in, pins Roman for the title. And I mean, because I was working that night, so I didn't watch Raw in its entirety. Like what you just said, where the clip of Seth stomping Brock was from WrestleMania 35. That's why I kind of made that face, was so they're not even gonna. The footage doesn't even line up. I'm just like, guys. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, I just think that I get why they probably did it, or the reason they could say they did it, because they don't know when Roman's going to be back. But at the same time, we all know what happened. Like, why are you guys trying to pretend like we haven't seen this. That didn't happen years ago.
They're trying to basically give us the Men in Black. Erase.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gone.
Wait, this didn't happen. You mean it happened this way? You mean Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar to win the WWE Championship? Heist of the century. But yeah.
Miss Krssi, what was your thoughts on the attempt to revisionist history for WWE?
I don't get it. I don't understand it. It happened. We all know it happened. It's footage. We all know that Roman is a patient and his immune system is, not at its best. And right now, he cannot take that chance. And for you to try to erase it and to do that just because he's trying to look out for himself and his family is just, you have no heart, have no soul. Like you want to be petty because this person want to make sure that their health is, 100%. And then, a good way to say, forget about you. We don't care about you. You do this. I really think it's sad. I'm not surprised. I didn't know what happened until Sid actually told me because I saw it and I didn't really pay it no mind. And then I looked back at it and I was like, wow, that's really a shame that you would actually be so low and so heartless to take one major person out of it because you are upset with him. You already have your key plays of who you want on TV. Let the storylines play out. He didn't really have a story to go with anyway right now. So what's the point?
But it's just I mean, this is not something they haven't done before. But of course, there's been better reasons for them to do it in the past. So I will say that.
Okay.
So
this one is not.
JJ, I think you're the perfect person to ask this question. What do you think Roman Reigns' reaction to this will be or should be?
Roman Reigns' reaction to Vince? You just queued it up for me.
That's actually perfect. For all you youngins that don't know this song, this is Ludacris. Ludacris in his prime was great, and that song was amazing. You should go back and listen to it.
Classic album.
I heard that song the first time I was like 4 or 5.
Screw what you screw.
Classic.
No other words.
Well, there you go. So do you think
I'm talking about the stupidity of this company?
Well, do you think that Vince has damaged his relationship with Roman with his response?
He don't care. He's just gonna find a new hot dick and jump on it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. The engine moves on. They're gonna find somebody else's meat to hop on.
Next man in.
Get petty. Yo, he took clips from 2 different WrestleManias and put them together in one package. What the fuck? His video editing is even trash. Come on.
I can make it disappear like that.
The buildings look obscurely different. The scene is crazy different. But we're not
That's wearing different gear.
We're not going to notice. And we're not going to notice. We don't remember who took the pinfall at WrestleMania 31. What the fuck? Come on.
It's
insulting.
It's just another example of WWE insulting our intelligence as viewers. And that's why I said.
Right. You don't think we was not going to put 2 and 2 together? I was a little slow at it, but, I still got it. And it was just sad.
It's just multi-layers of things that WWE are known for and do to us as viewers. They insult our intelligence. They try to erase people from history. Chris Benoit is one thing. You could tell me that Shawn Michaels and Triple H had a great triple threat match with no one at WrestleMania 20. That's fine.
Just spent 5 years shoving him down our proverbial throats.
Facts.
We're gonna forget him, and then when we finally cheer the Cancer Survivor, we're just gonna forget.
Poor guy just can't catch a break.
No, he can't. He really can't.
He really can't.
Like, even with him getting shut down our throats,
Barry,
that wasn't his fault. He was
he
just trying to do his job.
literally
Yeah.
the company to start controversy. Like, yo, if he really requested to leave that company, he would become the biggest thing in wrestling, probably since The Rock and Austin. Just the being that big, a requesting to leave, the internet would break.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's ever gonna get that far. I just think that that whole annoying family just has that type of relationship with Vince that they just recover from anything and they'll forgive this and move on from this. But this is wrong. This is wrong. Is what is the
100%.
whole semblance of this is wrong. Like, there's been
Yeah.
better reasons for WWE to revisionist history things. You can revisionist history, a whole series on the ruthless aggression era, and tell me it was a great era. I lived through that shit. I know a lot of the shit you were telling me was BS there, and I know that video that they showed on Raw was BS. So
100%. God forbid you stand up for yourself and your family's well-being.
Right.
God forbid you have cancer. They exploit you for being a cancer survivor. And then
No.
when you have to think about that, think about your health
What
and
about
stay
my
at home,
cancer?
they erase you
Your
from
cancer.
history.
Yep.
This
So they
is why
make money off your health concern and then remove you because of your health concern.
since day one of Tru Heel Heat, we have been supporters of Roman Reigns because we have realized the WWE has been the biggest anchor on the career of Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to move on and we got to talk about another team that left the anchor behind. The Revolt, the Revival. On Talk Is Jericho this week, they appeared. The tag team formerly known as the Revival, now known as Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. They appeared on Talk Is Jericho. In this interview, they confirmed and revealed a number of surprising information during their final months with WWE. This included that there leaked photos of the team in clown attire with Flavor Flav type clocks around their neck. Was actually pitched to them by Vince McMahon, and they were offered more than the previously reported $750,000 a year contracts that everybody was talking about. Once the Revolt told Vince that the gimmick was not going to work and that it was horrible, but they would still do it for the duration of their contract, they were told to no longer come on the road and that they would be able to sit at home and receive pay until they would receive their releases. So, what were your guys' thoughts on the Talk Is Jericho podcast with the Revolt? We'll start off with Top Guy JJ. What was your thoughts on it?
True, that actually kind of was a little boring to me in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, but I like the cat. I like Dax and Cash. I like Dax and Cash. I like Dax and Cash.
Yeah.
But hearing them and hearing them go deeper, like especially get into like the 30-35 minute mark, just start to hear why they were ready to leave and confirm why we felt that they could leave. And it was just literally the lack of exposure for WWE tag team wrestling, because every other company promotes better tag team wrestling when the WWE has the best tag teams in the world. But they never know how to expose them. They never know how to highlight it. But you got companies that got 3 motherfucking tag teams, but they make tag team wrestling look so important. And then here goes WWE, got like 32 tag teams, but then they could barely make the mid-card of a show. So
Or they're barely on a show.
yeah, so it's like, and I like the strategy that they had, because they wanted to not only prove that this wasn't about money, this wasn't about a push. They asked for their release as they were becoming the tag team champions. So as they were getting the push, as they were getting this bullshit push, they then said, we need to be released from this company because we don't see this tag team division ever fluctuating or getting to a status where it deserves to be when you have the best talent in the world. And it's passion. Like they stuck to their guns. They stuck to their guns for almost 2 years. Money sways you, and money didn't sway them. So I love the fact that they stuck to their guns, and wherever they ended up signing, you're gonna know this is a team that wants to be with the company because they want to enhance your division. and not just work for you.
Makes sense. I get you. So, what was your thoughts on the podcast, Negro Buck?
My thoughts on the podcast. I mean, I definitely loved it. It was very interesting getting their insight and everything. And just like JJ said, I really love and respect just their whole idea of everything was it's not about money for us. It's not about the titles. We'll keep losing the titles however many times you want us to lose them as long as we legitimize this division. Because, yeah, WWE has some of the best tag teams like in the world at their disposal. Don't know what to do with them. And it's almost as like you're lucky if you're a tag team and you start in NXT because there have been so many great tag teams. You know, the Revival, that's where they were at their peak, their hottest. And it's just like, I understand what they were saying with trying to elevate the division because you have certain guys who aren't getting time. They're only doing live shows. They're not getting exposure. And also one thing they said where it was like, the only teams really getting exposure on the shows are teams that are doing comedy acts, you know, because, you know, doing comedy and like if you're a serious, no nonsense team like the Revival was, you're seen as boring or unintelligent or uncharismatic. So, yeah, and also major respect to them for being willing to do the gimmick that they were going to be given with, you know, the tassels and the Flavor Flav clocks. And I think they even said that they were trying to have them wear lipstick for the attire, and it was just like, and I liked what Cash was saying where he was like they were trying to sell it to us as like them taking the piss out of being a comedy act, like their whole thing saying the only reason why we're getting exposure now is because we're being funny. So
No, I mean, I got the reasoning behind the gimmick. It made sense, but like they were at the point where it was turning back for them.
That was nailing the coffin at that point.
For the nonsense bullshit rivalry they had with the Usos, where they put fucking hot shit in their pants.
I forgot about that until you said it.
Rolling around. Like, it's an embarrassment. Like, you got the best teams in the world, and you turn them into a laughing act. You turn them into a restroom break.
You have them job to Lucha House Party.
But
mind you, if the Lucha House Party was in another company, one, they would have completely different fucking names because they're better athletes and wrestlers. And if they were put on a bigger stage, they would perform. But they're treated as jokes, so the fans look at them as jokes.
Exactly.
And the whole thing with that is that he still thinks that he's trying to get out of the whole like attitude. He's trying to look at his family friendly thing. I mean, you do have kids but you still have to cater and entertain and do everything. So you don't have to always be funny. You don't always have to be. We don't have to always be clown and samboing and throwing shit all over the place. So you don't always have to make everything a gimmick or a joke. You don't always have to put on colorful outfits. You can still sell us and we can still like you if you entertain us.
Yeah.
So you going about it that way is still stupid. We like the product. Just give us good stuff so we can receive the product. But they just think that everything is just okay and just we want to just laugh and just, you know, sell t-shirts and just be a gimmick and just be happy-go-lucky because you want us to be this family show. You just want to entertain people.
Yo, can you imagine how crazy it would look if the Lucha House Party were introduced as the Lucha Brothers and they became a faction? To imagine like how that group would look, how much more seriously they would be taken. It's crazy. They're so talented and get looked at as laptops.
Yeah.
3 of them are so talented.
Because that's the only thing that they've told us is they're just guys who dick around, but they're all incredible athletes, and they would soar anywhere else, I believe.
Hey, Grand Metalik and Phoenix would fuck it up, yo! Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, I still remember.
I got a question for you. I got a question for y'all. A lot of fans say, you know, WWE should invest more in their tag team division, but the real question is, how does WWE invest more in their tag team division? So that would be my question to you guys. How should WWE invest more in their tag teams? Because probably the only time in like the past decade they've invested in the tag team division is really the New Day, and then probably like
The
from there
Usos.
the New Day Usos rivalry, but not really the Usos on its own. Really, the only time they really invested in the Usos is when they were feuding with the
with the
New
New
Day.
Day.
And even then, when you think about that rivalry, they were on the opening match for Battleground. They were on the pre-show for SummerSlam. The opening match for Hell in a Cell. Like, they were never put in a prominent spot to make money and to be like for the fans to really invest in it. So how do you think that WWE? How does WWE do that? Because I think that that's the real issue, that WWE doesn't know how to and doesn't know how to go about it. And too many fans just want the need for it and say, you should invest more, you should invest more, but never put the foresight into how can WWE, and don't think like yourself, don't think like a wrestling fan. You have to think like WWE, which means thinking like a 70-year-old rich billionaire who does not take a lot of criticism and feedback very well. But you have to think like that. How does WWE invest in their tag team?
Three things: TV promos, more serious storyline, and one-off main event. Gotta give them a bigger spotlight and a stage to actually deliver the characters, because tag teams have characters as well. The New Day aren't the only characters in the company. The New Day aren't the only people that can deliver you a promo or a vignette on screen. Why only singles competitors that gives you vignettes? It can be tag teams that gives vignettes. It can be tag teams that delivers promos. It can be tag teams that give you bomb-ass main events. Why aren't they giving a more serious platform for the fans to invest in it? You got to give us something to believe in with a story, then deliver it in the ring for us to then take them seriously. Why do you think we had no problem whatsoever when the Young Bucks main evented All In when we went there? The Young Bucks gave us more stories than we could fucking imagine. And we are bought into that because they got time on TV. They've been able to deliver so much character and deliver so much of themselves that only WWE gives that time to singles competitors. And the only time that WWE invested in character promotions, as you stated before, was when the New Day and the Usos had their rivalry, is when they were going back and forth in their dungeon promos, and the Usos were walking through areas, delivering their heat promos. That was the only time they've been given time. Like, you give the Viking Raiders and you give the Street Profits a quick little segment, that became one of the most interesting dialogues that they had on TV. And this is the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. This is a dose of what tag team wrestling can do for your brand. It doesn't always have to be the macho champion versus some big Goliath, what you want to deliver up as a favorite. You got to give us something else. That's why the ratings are so fucking low, because we know what's coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Facts.
And I had a quick question. Do you guys believe that, so as far as, the whole main roster stuff with Raw and SmackDown goes, do you guys believe that having two sets of tag team titles is kind of detrimental to the division?
Having 3 tag team championships is detrimental.
3 tag team.
All brands have titles.
4 brands if you count NXT UK.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
I am necessarily not in the belief that it dilutes or takes away from the division, because if they treated each of these as their own universe, then it would be okay. And I feel like that's proven by like the NXT tag team titles. The NXT tag team titles is viewed as a major title because it's kind of treated in their own universe and they protected it in their universe. Whereas like the Raw and the SmackDown. The every year with the Survivor Series and then the stuff like that. Every year there's a draft. Like there's no sense of brand loyalty, so it doesn't become this is the best tag team on Raw.
Right.
This is the best tag team on SmackDown. It just is. This is the guy that has the Raw tag team titles. This is the team that has the Raw tag team titles. This is the team that has the SmackDown tag team title. It's never a solidifying thing of this is the best tag team in the company.
The company, yep.
So.
Okay.
I would definitely agree with what JJ said. I don't think it's detrimental, but I also think that it's not being proven that this is something to fight for because no one is standing behind the tag team division. No, like you said, if we had the storylines and the booking, they would be great. Why do you put tag teams on pre-shows? Why can't they're great for a mid-card if you had the right teams and the right story to give for it? It could be great for a middle match. I mean,
Exactly.
a middle of the show. It can be great even to close a show if you had the correct people and the storyline and you believe that this story would work and give us the excitement and let us be drawn in and believe in this. We would love it. We would draw into it. We would react to it. But unfortunately, with all of the people that's in the division, I can't even remember everyone that's even in the tag team division. To be honest, like I've forgotten.
Yeah, I've lost track.
I don't. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to even like try to think about it or like try to like guess who it is because it don't really even matter. They're looked at as they can be they're two there. It could be three members or it could be more. They're a faction. And if you give us the promos, if you give us the insight on who these people are and draw us in, we'll eat it up. But you don't do that, and if you don't invest in it, why should we?
Yeah, they don't make us care.
Exactly. And instead, we get fucking King Corbin story.
Correct. What?
It's so embarrassing because talent from these tag teams is immense.
So before we wrap up this topic, I want each of y'all to give the number one tag team you want to see the Revolt face now that they're not in the WWE.
Does it have to be in that brand?
It can't be in WWE. That's what I said.
I'm sorry.
What's the number one team you want outside of the WWE to verse the Revolt?
Two teams for me: the Lucha Brothers and Sonata.
And who?
Evil and Sonata.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say those two. That was my pick, Evil and Sonata.
Evil and Sonata?
Yep.
I would definitely say Lucha Bros.
Even the Young Bucks, baby.
I mean, Young Bucks. That match is a given. That's going to happen. But I would really, really like to see them against Hangman and Kenny.
That's a good one.
That's good, actually.
Great.
I like that one.
Also,
I wouldn't even.
I would like to see. I really want to see them face God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the God for sure. Probably if I had to choose one, I would probably say it's the Briscoes. Briscoes versus the Revolt would probably be my number one choice.
That would be.
They would definitely have one match because they would fuck each other up.
Gonna be a redneck fight for sure. Moving on to week 30 of the Wednesday Night Wars. It's our favorite time of the show where we break down the ratings for the Wednesday Night Wars with AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT.
Drum roll.
All right. And the drum roll says we have a rating of AEW Dynamite with 732,000 viewers to WWE NXT's 663,000 viewers. Once again, AEW Dynamite wins in the ratings war. They had a 0.28 in the 18 to 49 key demo, while NXT finished with a 0.18. This was both shows was up in the rating, so that's good news or 1.4 million people watch wrestling on Wednesday night. WWE NXT had Adam Cole defeating Velveteen Dream to defend the NXT title. Charlotte Flair gets disqualified versus Io Shirai, but Rhea Ripley is not in Australia. She is in the United States, and she returned to NXT. And Kushida and Akira Tozawa get victories in the Best of the Super Cruisers tournament. AEW Dynamite had Mr. Brody Lee and the Dark Order attack AEW World Champion Jon Moxley and SCU, leading to Moxley versus Brody Lee being signed for Double or Nothing. MJF returns and he learns that he will face Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing. Cody versus Joey Janela in a very good opening matchup. And the most fun, the most insane matchup of the entire pandemic. The most
Man,
you will have watching professional wrestling since this whole pandemic has started, as it was Kenny Omega and Broken Matt Hardy versus the La Sex God. Oh, Sammy
Oh
Guevara
my God.
and
Whose idea was it
shout
to
out to
put
Sammy
the inner
Guevara.
circle together? Who did that?
it was Chris Jericho's idea.
Was it to get the
Genius. He's a
GG?
genius.
Yeah.
Oh my!
So, guys, we have the question. We
That's
heard the
another check
ratings.
mark on his list, man. I swear, he is a geez.
We heard the ratings. AEW Dynamite won the ratings roar, but we got to hear what your guys' opinion was on the shows. Who had the better show last night for the Wednesday Night Wars Week 30? We'll start off with our guest host, the Negro Buck Nick Jackson.
I'd say, in my opinion, Dynamite had the best show this week. You had, as you said, a very good opening match between Janela and Cody. Glad to see that Janela is getting a little bit more spotlight. Actually really enjoyed the match between Kaz and Mox, too. It was refreshing for me to see Kaz back in a singles setting, just because when I discovered Kaz in 07 in Impact, and he was a singles guy, and he was a guy that I really, really enjoyed. Love what he's doing with SCU, but it's good to know that, all three of those guys in SCU are extremely talented as singles wrestlers, as tag team, as a trio. I mean, they can do it all. And as you said, the main event was one of the most fun matches I've seen in a long time. Just all over Daly's place. They basically tried to murder Sammy G with a golf cart. So, I had to do. Did anyone else have to do a double take of that? Because I really thought he was hurt.
Pump of the motherfucking decade, yo.
That is the GIF of 2020.
On the
I mean,
phone,
everyone's already memeing the hell out of it.
that clip, I was like, holy what?
It was me. And I was like, hold on. I rewound because I'm like,
So
please
did
tell
you
me they didn't actually knock his head off.
That was the gift, the meme of the wrestling year for 2020 for sure.
That was 2020 coming after all of us with everything that is going on.
Yeah.
While 2019 was taping, yes, the entire way. Top guy JJ, what do you say was the better show last night?
I mean, you know how I am when it comes to, like, if there's a moment that steals the entire night, I give the edge to that show. And Sammy Guevara with the bump of the motherfucking decade.
Yep.
Literally, you just saw 2020 getting met with coronavirus and that shit. That like, I thought he was dead. Like, I was like, I felt for that man. I was like, oh my God, his face just got crushed. His face just got fucking crushed. Like, I literally, like, holy shit, I didn't jump at a bump like that in years. Like, I thought he got fucking killed.
I hope he doesn't have a concussion.
Yeah.
From, like, I think AEW definitely put on the better show and they deserve the better rating. But I think I just saw my favorite entrance in wrestling take place in NXT last night. I am fully sold. Karrion Kross. I am all in. That is literally my favorite in all of WWE.
I saw that.
I am 1,000 sold on him. Fucking holy shit!
Who was laying with him?
I was like, felt that in my soul. I was a wrestling nut right there.
Yeah, that was good. They sold that. Yeah, it was great. Everything about it was awesome.
That was definitely the moment of the night as far as NXT goes. That was
Yeah.
Mhm.
that was that
Yes.
was like the Fiend's first entrance, Finn Balor's first demon entrance in NXT.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that was up there as far as like first entrances go.
That was
I so
like chef
good.
kiss
I
good.
was like, whoa, this is what wrestling is about, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Definitely.
God. I loved it, man. I became such a fan right there. Like, this was so perfect. This was so perfect.
I've
Mm-hmm.
always been a fan of Killer Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux, but like they
Uh,
just mixed a lot of like old school themes with futuristic, just the images of it all. And Scarlet Bordeaux is lip singing
Oh
oh,
yeah.
the lyrics of the song.
Woo-wee.
Just made it
Oh,
all come
it's
together. It was just perfect.
oh
I'm feeling chills right now as
Yeah.
we
God.
speak about it.
That's
Oh my
I've
God.
had
Yeah.
goosebumps like that since I've
so
seen this
good.
person
Yeah.
dance. Like that was incredible.
So good.
Just that
But this
still.
is the stuff we want, and they need to give us more of it. I don't understand it. Like, ugh.
No, but honestly, like the look of the both of them just makes it.
Yeah.
They have the
The,
perfect
yep.
look. I literally thought, yo, this guy got champion written all over him, yo. He is literally
Mhm.
going to be the star of that brand in less than a year.
The next monster heel, I think, of NXT.
Ooh.
Absolutely agree with y'all there. Miss Krssi Luv, what would you say was the better show last night?
I have to give it to AEW. However, just like you guys said, the Killer Cross entrance was just like amazing. Then, of course, seeing my boo come up underneath the ring was amazing. Of course.
Oh, Dexter Loomis?
Oh,
Um,
you know, yes, that's he has my heart.
Got a fan Krssi. Like
Uh, whew,
anytime you
yes.
talk about Dexter
But
Loomis,
yes, Dexter, yes, that's
I love him too. Been a fan of his since
reaction.
TNA days.
I don't. Nick, I don't think you like Dexter Loomis like Krssi likes Dexter.
Nah, definitely not.
but I definitely
Yeah,
love
see him.
I was sold on the once I saw the Jake the Snake come out and he was almost falling asleep at the ring, I was like, wow, this is greatness. And then he brings out this little amateur snake and puts it on Brandy. Wonderful. But first, Brandy got beat up by the doctor herself because Brandy threw her shoe.
The rope,
She yeeted
the
the
rope.
Yeah.
shit, man.
The Goat Baker. We
Miss
are
Baker.
Goat Baker. We are taking that from. I take that now from Jimmy and Cash. They call her Goat Baker on the All
But,
Elite recap. I am calling her Goat Baker now.
Go
but did you
Baker.
see
Anything
the
she does.
reaction? The reaction when she beats up Brandy, and do you see what's homeboy with the scarf name?
Scarf. MJF.
Oh,
Yeah,
MJF.
MJF. MJF, he has Britt Baker's shoe in his hand. He's like screaming her on. It's just like everything about that whole segment was awesome. Then Jake comes and puts the snake on her. It was just like all great. Then we had the street match. I was like, who did first of all, there was no social distancing happening at all. I'm sorry. Like all there, there's nothing I don't understand like how no, they had maybe like 5 people that had masks on. Everyone else was just all out. You're infected. Sorry. There's something there. But the show must go on, and that they did. And I mean, the La Sex Gods. I mean, wow. Like Chris Jericho can do no wrong. The La Champion. I need to probably order me a little bit of the bubbly
Oh yeah.
as they
Ordered
mentioned in
some? Yeah.
order. You can order yourself. He gives us a plug as they're commentating. How do you give a plug to buy his alcohol during his
One
match?
of the best things to come out of this whole
Like,
quarantine is Jericho being on commentary. Because I think he found what his calling is whenever he decides to hang up his boots.
I got two
yes,
bottles probably coming in about a
I'll
week.
pull out a fork and cut a bitch.
To pick up
Probably
with me.
the only negatives from AEW Dynamite was probably like Chrissy said, the lack of social distancing that we was on display there, and the fact that Chris Jericho was no longer on commentary. I was happy that Jim Ross and Excalibur were back and they were good
Yeah.
last night, but it was nothing like Chris Jericho
Jim
on
Ross should have
commentary.
been in
I
there.
got
He
used to
should
him
have
in Ski Bone.
home.
I was more worried about the social distancing when the Dark Order was like a 22-on-1 attack.
Right? That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
That
again,
also, yes. That also, I was like, I thought you couldn't have this many guys in the ring. What's going on?
and then they showed everyone that was
Well,
in like the stands. I was like, this definitely is like not appropriate at all.
I mean,
There's
we
a
get
lot of
crazy match, but if no one gives a shout out to that background picture of the inner soul,
yes, that last picture. Yes, that last.
Oh, that was
Yes,
awesome.
that was
yes.
boy.
That was definitely one of the best closing shots to a wrestling show in quite some time.
At the football stadium. Yep.
Before we wrap up this Wednesday night war talk, what would you guys say was the better tournament so far? The TNT Championship tournament on AEW Dynamite or the best of the Super Cruisers over on NXT?
AEW.
AEW.
NXT.
TNT tournament, AEW.
NXT can kiss my ass.
Well, damn. I only say that I only agree with everyone here.
Bullshit Drake Maverick story. I ain't bored and I ain't fucking with that tournament.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
feel
said.
you on that.
That's what I was gonna say. The only reason I agree with everyone here is that the best of the Super Cruisers kind of depends on the Drake Maverick story more than anything else. So it's kind of weak. They just started trying to kind of tell a Kushida side story, but it feels like that's easy raid for the stronger Drake Maverick story. So WWE news, the biggest news from WWE besides what we've already talked about is a new record low ratings for Monday Night War this week. 1.686 million viewers from Monday Night Raw. That's a new all-time low. Ouch. Fox Twitter handle teases that CM Punk is going to be the SmackDown hacker, mysterious hacker that has been teased on SmackDown over the last couple of weeks. Becky Lynch, who just appeared on Billions, is now rumored to join an upcoming Marvel movie. I know Miss Krssi Luv loves that news.
Oh, she was great. First of all, Billions is one of my favorite shows, and when I seen it, my husband, I was actually falling asleep watching it because I was very, very tired. But then he woke me up, and I was like, "Oh, I fanned out." Sorry. Then it made me become a little Becky fan yet again. I was like, "Gotta love her." Oh, why you cover your eyes? Don't be mad because Ronda Savior Ronda Rousey. Now you want to be all up.
You do roll your eyes. Whatever.
No, don't do that, friend. See, don't. That's disrespectful.
Bo Dallas has not been released. I know that's news. That's news for some people because he was not a part of the WWE mass releases. Even though some asked if he was, because his tag team partner Curtis Axel was released, as well as his father Mike Rotunda has been furloughed. WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn is one of the superstars who has made the choice to stay at home during the current pandemic. So shouts out to Sammy, kind of making the better health choice for his livelihood. So shouts out to him for sure. New Japan news. Very, very sad news. Wrestle Dynasty at Madison Square Garden, which was scheduled for August 22nd, has been officially postponed per an announcement this week from New Japan. We're sad to say tickets were supposed to go on sale next week, but of course, because of the current pandemic, they cannot. AEW news.
Corona.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck you, Rona.
Fuck you,
I need
Corona.
to hurry up and get cleared up because
I
was supposed to go to the AEW show in Houston like a month ago, and they were scheduled it for November. So I'm just hoping that
God willing,
just throw me a bone.
God willing, it happens. Then we just gotta all stay at home, and I hope everyone
man.
wash your hands and stay at home. AEW news. Like we reported last week, AEW has gone back to live shows, starting with the Wednesday night episode of Dynamite. They will tape next week's show Thursday night to give everyone 2 weeks in quarantine. After that, before they return to Jacksonville for the May 20th live episode of Dynamite, then Double or Nothing on May 23rd at Jacksonville, and then the May 27th live Dynamite, which will all be at Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. AEW news, AEW and the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees confirmed that all staff staff and wrestlers for Dynamite received COVID-19 rapid test, and all were tested negative before being allowed in for the taping last night. So this is probably the biggest precautions that was taking place before a wrestling event ever since this whole pandemic has taken place. So we got to give a shout out to AEW for taking those extra measures. Cody reveals that it was Britt Baker who brought Wardlow into AEW by introducing him to QT Marshall to train him at the Nightmare Factory in Georgia. And the biggest news from AEW this week is that AEW was fined $10,000 for the lights out match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega back at Full Gear by the Maryland Athletic Commission for the lacerations and puncture wounds and the blood that was shown in the match. And for all of this, I will just say Chris Cruz is the famous former WCW announcer who made it public to the Maryland Athletic Commission that AEW showed blood at the event and pushed for them to be fined, even though the Maryland Athletic Commission said they were already investigating it. Chris Cruz, fuck you. That's all I will say. All right. ROH news. ROH has signed a TV deal with Fight Network UK in England. Impact Wrestling news, Willie Mack defeated Ace Austin and Chris Bay to defend the X Division title. Tournament was announced to determine the number one contender for the Impact World title on Impact this week. NWA news, NWA announces that NWA Super Power will finally premiere this coming Tuesday at 6:05 Eastern Time. And then finally, ACH, Top Guy JJ's favorite, publicly addressed the way that he handled the entire t-shirt situation in WWE in a recent interview. And yes, ACH has expressed remorse and embarrassment.
Because he ain't got no job now.
You didn't think you had a little bit more responsibility than that fuckface? You didn't think that you had a whole community that you just let down, you fucking flaming idiot? You wasn't going through something, you were being selfish. You were a selfish piece of shit that tried to sit there and try to blame so many people for racial differences and them enslaving us. And no, you were a fucking talentless idiot.
Oh, come on. Come on.
He tried to stand up for something, but unfortunately it backfired on him. That's all it was.
He's got talent. He's got talent.
Ring, and that's where it stops.
ACH got talent. That's all I will say. That's all I will say.
In the ring.
Hey, to each its own. All right, so finally we got to wrap things up with our Money in the Bank preview. Money in the Bank is this coming Sunday. It's going to take place at the performance.
Is it really? On Mother's Day? Why? Ugh.
Damn.
Mother's Day, Money in the Bank. Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, I think probably only the matches at the Performance Center are going to be live, while the Money in the Bank ladder matches have already been taped. So at least there's that.
So who won?
Well, we don't know that yet, and we don't give spoilers right here on Tru Heel Heat. But let's go through the card and give our predictions. SmackDown Tag Team titles are on the line in a fatal four-way match as the New Day will defend their newly won SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Forgotten Sons, Miz and Morrison, hey, hey, ho, ho. That's for you, Jessica and Romeo. And the Lucha Bros.
They love that song?
They love the Miz and Morrison, and they love the Hey Hey Ho Ho's. So, who you got in this fatal four-way matchup? We'll start off with our guest host, Nick Jackson. Who you got?
I'm just gonna say New Day because seems like my heart wants to say Miz and Morrison just because I don't think they should have lost the titles to New Day, but I don't know. New Day seems like the safe option.
Seems about right. Miss Krssi Luv, who you got?
For the simple fact that the Forgotten Sons won already, I want to say the New Day will retain because it's too early to give it to them, maybe. But who knows? Look at the Street Profits. So maybe they could win. You never know. So I will definitely try and say maybe an upset and be the Forgotten Sons.
Okay, that's interesting. Who you got, Top Guy JJ?
MC and my they're putting us on blast. Time to go. Done.
That shit is trash, yo. I'm sorry.
So trash. So trash.
You pandering clowns always
I'm mad that they actually gave them studio time to do that.
shows this business. I came back with the
He really had to start from the beginning.
Hey,
He couldn't even cut
oh,
to the fucking hook. Like, so I guess you're going with Miz and Morrison.
hey, hey, ho, ho.
Oh, Miz and Morrison.
I'm gonna agree.
My family hates them actually, so
Your family hates Miz and Morrison?
they're not fans of them.
What? This is for London.
The boys cannot stand them because they're New Day fans. That's why.
Okay.
You know, their kids, the gimmicks. You know, they love the New Day.
Of course.
This is
Oh,
why
they just
your
said the
sons
New
are good
Day.
kids. Your sons are good kids. Unlike whatever JJ is. I'm gonna agree with the Negro Buck and our other guest host Mary Jane, and I'm gonna go with the New Day. We got Bailey. We got Bailey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Tamina. The Tamina train pulls in to Money in the Bank, and who is Mina? Then Tamina. Who you got? Who you got, Top Guy JJ?
Yo, Tamina for like the 2000th loss.
Yo, that's so sad, yo. Sis can't get a break, yo.
Oh, man.
Me, nah.
They should give it to her like they gave it to Braun Strowman, the courtesy win.
Fuck that out of here!
Who you got, Miss Krssi?
I'm gonna go with Bailey because they don't give Tamina no love, yo.
Who you got, Nick?
Bailey.
All across the board,
said.
we got Bailey.
Doctor's gonna help her some kind of way.
We got Bailey taking the win all across the board here. And we'll go to the title matches and we'll finish up with the Money in the Bank ladder matches. So for the WWE Championship, it will be Drew McIntyre defending against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins attacked Drew McIntyre a couple of weeks after WrestleMania with Herb Stomp and has said that he wants to take the burden of the WWE Championship away from Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre has done everything that Seth Rollins has done, and Seth Rollins needs the WWE Championship. That's all I got in those long, droning, freaking Seth Rollins promos on Monday Night War. I'm sorry. I'm just falling asleep thinking about it. We got Drew versus Seth. Miss Krssi Luv, we'll start with you.
Drew.
Nick, who you got?
The Chosen One himself. Way too soon to take the title off of him.
Yeah.
And definitely shouldn't be going to fucking Seth.
He deserves a great run right now. Corona, no Corona. He deserves a good run. He deserves
100%. 100%.
Even if it's going to be...
He's worked his ass off for it, and I'm going with him for the win.
If he gets more time than Kofi, it's a problem.
Who you got, JJ?
Seth, take a fucking vacation on promos with trash, bro. I mean, we're definitely Drew across the board for me.
Go back to the drawing board, Seth. And we got for the Universal Championship, it will be Braun Strowman defending the Universal Championship against Bray Wyatt. Yes, Bray Wyatt, the man, not the Fiend. Who you got? This is a rivalry that's been building for a number of years. Ever since Braun Strowman left the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt has been dragging up his past and bringing it up now that he is the Universal Champion. And now that Bray Wyatt wants the Universal title back, who you got, Miss Krssi?
I want Bray to get it back. However, I see this story playing out a little bit longer, and I think Braun is going to win.
Top Guy JJ?
Anybody that knows me knows how much I hate the Bray Wyatt book WWE. I can't stand it more than anything that happens in this company. And this is exactly why I believe that Bray Wyatt is going to win the Universal Championship with the help of The Fiend. Somehow. Because this is how WWE does Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
He's thinking creatively, like WWE would.
They're gonna have like a little thing. We're gonna get another little fun thing going on.
In that
I
pop
want to see it.
Bray Wyatt's gonna win because Braun ain't supposed to be in with.
This is true.
Who you got, Nick?
Man, what JJ said is kind of, because I feel like Braun's just obvious, but what JJ was saying, it's kind of making me think a bit.
See,
like,
hence what I said, man. Like, it's hard.
That's what I would want to happen as a fan.
Yeah.
I feel like
because he should have never lost it in the first place.
If that's what I would want to happen. I feel like that's going to go the opposite way, and Braun's going to retain the title.
Now he's thinking.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he's going against Bray Wyatt, the man.
Yeah.
Now,
I think the whole reason he's going against Bray Wyatt as the man is that they want to drag out this feud a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah.
And him versus the Fiend is an automatic win for the Fiend. So him versus the man, it gives him the out. Yeah, it gives him the out that he can defeat the man and make his title run a little bit longer. So I'm going to go with Braun Strowman to get the victory here. I didn't make my prediction for the last match. I'm going with Drew McIntyre as well as everybody else on that one. So finally, we get to the Money in the Bank ladder matches, the corporate ladder Money in the Bank matches. First of all, we got the women's Money in the Bank match, as it's going to be Nia Jax versus Asuka versus Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke versus Lacey Evans versus Carmella. We have Carmella, who's a former Money in the Bank winner. We have Asuka, a former SmackDown and NXT Women's Champion. Shayna Baszler, a two-time Women's Champion. Nia Jax, a former Raw Women's Champion. So, a lot of talent in this matchup. Who you got? Miss Krssi Luv.
Ooh, it's... I don't... See... My obvious choice is Shayna, right? Shayna, fuck it. No explanation. Just that's it. Never mind. Keep going.
That was a perfect explanation. Nick, who you got?
Shayna, for the love of God, please.
Because they're destroying her, but they want to somehow like make us draw it back into her. Just Shayna. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I'm not saying anything else. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm sorry.
Top guy, who you got?
WWE has done a shit job of masking Shayna. So Shayna will win Money in the Bank and cash it in and beat the impenetrable man, Becky Lynch, when he's most vulnerable.
I agree with the others. Shayna Baszler will climb the corporate ladder and win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, because if she doesn't, WWE, you blew it. You blew it.
Again.
They blew it at Mania.
Jesus. The men's climb the corporate ladder Money in the Bank match. It's Aleister Black versus Rey Mysterio versus Daniel Bryan versus King Corbin versus Otis versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Top guy JJ, will start off with you. Who you got in this one?
This only makes sense for AJ Styles to win this match.
Yep.
This only makes sense. Otis is going to have the closest moment, but I believe it will be AJ Styles that takes this match because no one else makes sense in this match. No one is getting close to a push in this match. Everybody in this match is just dead. And WWE just don't believe in Aleister Black. So, you know.
Yeah, another one. Just, Jesus.
I don't think Aleister Black's the right guy to win Money in the Bank either.
Yeah, because they didn't sell them to you because WWE don't believe.
No, it's not about that. I just think his character is not the type that should be winning Money in the Bank.
I understand that.
Yeah. Nick, who you got?
So, thinking about this match, the names that stand out the most to me would have either been Aleister Black or AJ. And I agree with what you've said about Aleister's character. And I do believe Otis is going to come like super close to it and something's going to happen. I would say AJ, but with the promo that Aleister cut on him on Monday or whenever that was, I have a feeling that they might try to shove those two into a feud together. And since it's WWE, I'm thinking in terms of WWE, it is with the utmost regret that my pick to win Money in the Bank is King Corbin.
Thank God. They're not fucking that up twice.
I know. I
They're not
just
fucking that up twice.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I'm just trying to think like
that ain't
with
fucking
WWE's logic.
He put his Vince hat on. This man is thinking.
Like, you know what makes sense because Daniel Bryan.
He failed to Jinder Mahal.
Hey, that's a good choice. I like it. I like it, Michael. Who you got, Miss Krssi Luv?
I'm so sad, but that crap might be true now. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh my God.
Who do you
I'm
have
a genius.
for Money in the Bank?
I was going to pick AJ because he came back from the dead, and what other way to come back from the dead is to being, the top guy. However, on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan did call jabs at Corbin, calling him a loser, and he failed. And he was like, 32 winners, and there's only 4 losers, and you're one of the 4 losers that didn't get to go through or whatever. And now that's thanks, Nick. Great.
Stuck it in our head.
Yeah, now that it's just stuck in my head, and now it's gonna be forever stuck in my head. And then once he wins, I'm gonna be like, "Thanks, Nick. Do you remember Married with Children? They used to always say, "Thank you for all the kids. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Nick. Great." So now I'm gonna have to probably agree with Nick and go that way because stupid Corbin is gonna win.
King Corbin wins this fucking match. I am never taking money.
I want AJ to win. Just
I would like AJ. That is my pick.
Yeah.
AJ would win. AJ, my pick is
says,
AJ to win. My heart is going to say that.
Yeah.
However, my WWE Vince hat says what Nick said.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Gotta think with your WWE Vince hat. Gotta get your Vince hats. I'm gonna agree with Top Guy JJ, and I'm gonna go with AJ Styles to return and win the Money in the Bank ladder match. All right, so that wraps up this episode of Tru Heel Heat 73. A plug for our lineup on our YouTube channel. Our Tru Heel's BTR with Royce Isaac is up right now. Our latest Dark Side of the Ring review, very good one with me and Krssi Luv talking about Herb Abrams and the UWF. A new All Elite recap, SmackDown with the Lynches, Dark Power and NXT will be up this weekend. Tru Heel Heat 72 when we rank every single Money in the Bank cash-in. Definitely check that out. That's a very good one. And our all-new series, True Rewind, where we go back in time to September 1995, all the way to the beginning of the Monday Night War. So join us on our journey as we go through the entire Monday Night War, Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Nitro, every single week, starting from the very first Nitro. Me, Romeo Cologne, as well as Drunk Guy JJ. It's going to be a wild ride, so join us on it. Nick Jackson, tell them where they can find you on social media, my good brother.
You guys can find me on Facebook at Nick Jackson. I'm sure if you are on the Tru Heel page, you see me a shit ton in the group. So yeah, it's not gonna be hard to find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Beach Bum. And
is that your actual name, sir?
What, Mr. Beach Bum on Instagram?
Jackson.
Nick Jackson? Yes. Well, my full name is Nicholas Jackson Lee. And,
all right.
Yeah, but I go by Nick Jackson.
Those out there, because there's some suspicious people out there. They like, is his name really Nick Jackson?
Yeah, I know. Everybody says that. And because there's another group I'm in where there's a motherfucker named Kenny Omega, and I don't. Yeah, but I'm like, no. I'm like, this is my real name. All
I
right.
don't think he's Kenny
Okay.
Omega.
Yeah, nah.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Miss Krssi, tell them where they can follow you on social media.
You can find me on IG and on Twitter at the sensation Miss Krssi Luv, Miss Krssi Luv _ and on Facebook I am Crystal Lynch.
And Top Guy JJ.
And Instagram, I am _Top Guy JJ. Facebook, I am Justin Johnson. I'm telling you, y'all need to put a big ass thumbnail under Chrissy's name because that shit is long as fuck.
I shortened it, friend. Thank you. If you go and check it out.
We went over this on the last episode.
I would really like to thank my homie Nick, for showing up here. 73 episodes in, we finally got you in. You know what I mean? So
no problem. Thanks again for having me. This was awesome.
Yes. We want to definitely thank Nick Jackson. Thank the good brother for joining us today. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. You can push the like button if you enjoyed this video and comment down below on any of the topics that we talked about right here on Tru Heel Heat 73, especially your Money in the Bank predictions. We definitely want to hear from you on that. You can follow me at Tru Heel _Epic SP3. You can follow our good friend Jimmy McAmram on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel that you could definitely subscribe to, as well as Battle Club Pro. And you can push the subscribe button for us. Push the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. If you are listening to this, you can listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to Tru Heel Heat now. So definitely check us out. If you're on the road and you can't watch us, you can listen to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Wherever.
So for
No
our
excuses.
number one conversation starter, the leader of the Tru Heel Trinity himself, Nick Jackson. For the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Luv. For the resident Tru Heel alcoholic, Top Guy JJ. We are signing off for Tru Heel Heat 73 until Tru Heel Heat 74. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, and we are signing off until next time.